Alright, testing. And just make sure the audio's playing. Well, or rather just doing a test. I want to make sure nothing's too loud, because the audio on my computer is a little bit wonky. Oh my god, that's some crusty footage. Alright, everything seems to be going through just fine. Just gonna hang tight for a few minutes. Wait for, shit to start. And last but not least, let's just make sure all this stuff is working right. Gucci. I like shove chat like right here. There we go. One last thing I just need to make sure is working. Alrighty. Okay, everything's up and set to go. We are ready to roll. Looks like not many people here just yet, but hey, we gotta get back to the good favors of the YouTube algorithm after years of stagnation. But the big reason why I'm here is just because I got nothing better to do. I'll be pretty frank. Excuse me. There we go. Anyways, here's hoping everybody's having a dandy fine day today. I love these extra borders we got because I'm kind of stretching this out, the display out a bit. It's already a bit compressed because it's pre-rendered too. I always remember, like, loving to watch this intro as a kid, too, because it's just so goofy. Especially just for the president speaking. I think he was, like, our favorite character to play as, because he's just so fucking funny. No, pardon my French. I should really get a stream swear jar going. So I don't run my, my evil mouth. There's also a lot to Pikmin's creative design that carries it a lot, I think. I recently replayed Pikmin 1, just on my own time. The original GameCube version, which was slightly a mistake, because it's pretty dang rough around the edges. But it's carried entirely by its just creative design and presentation, I think. Like, it's a genuine 10 out of 10 if you get all those controls refined. Excuse me. Which I heard the Switch version does, where it just has no major bugs. It's got the point controls. It's got the whistling. I forget the name, where you can control it with the C. Control your Pikmin with the C stick. I remember 2, like, granted, like, my memories are pretty foggy. I remember 2, like, 2 was what I played the most. I remember it being pretty dang responsive when it comes to how the rest of the Pikmin games go. Bored. Let's get him. We're obviously all slightly, what's it called? I know I'm for a fact pretty spoiled by modern graphics, but it's funny how his legs are just, the Bulborb's legs are just triangles. So I remember... Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, fuck. Look how fucking low poly those legs are. Dude's got polygons to spare. I remember it was a huge deal. Fuck it. Oh, God, there goes my mouth again. Where we were primarily a Nintendo household. We never saw the niceness of an Xbox 360 or PS3 for a while. I think we did get a PS3, like, pretty late into it. So it's like we're stuck on 480p for the longest of time, and then when you swap to finally for an actual 720 HD, it's like, oh my god, what is this? That same joke when you're like, oh no, you can work at a cinematic 30 FPS, and you jump to 60, and you're like, oh, never mind. This stuff's real nice. Which is funny, because a few GameCube games actually ran at 60 FPS. I know right off the top of my head, that was F-Zero GX. Which that's actually on my 2 playlist as well. Drool. That's right, my man just wants to eat. But two ends up being one of my favorite. Actually, the only game I haven't replayed in a long while was 3. And I remember thinking 3 was a bit of a disappointment compared to 2. But I haven't replayed, but that's because, like, I was a lot younger, and I was like, you know, 2's really cool because it's just got so much stuff in it. Now I'm older, I'm like, a longer game isn't necessarily better. There's also the entire challenge mode in 3, which I skipped as well, which I heard some people really like. But I remember just finding the difficulty in 3 just a bit too easy, I guess. Though granted, here in 2, we're gonna really make sure we play as the devs intended, I think. Ooh. We get minor performance issues, but like I said, it's pretty hard to know if that's just original or not. I guess we'll really see if we get like any significant lag or slowdown. Or maybe that's me like messing with my totally legitimate GameCube settings too much. This is the other detail I always love, how every single treasure is just some real-world item. Which is the only reason why I'm probably gonna say, like, I prefer the Wii remaster and the original GameCube version of this game much better. Because, like, oh my god. Because in the Switch remaster, which I heard is a pretty good port, they have to remove all of the brand names. So it's not as fun. Yeah, and throwing feels way better in this game compared to 1. Oh, it feels so nice just to get in controls being way more responsive here. I am glad my memory was not wrong in that, because I remember in this game, like, you could just spam throw Pikmin. Like, you could just, like, machine gun that shit. And in Pikmin 1, you have to be in, like, specific positions in order to machine gun that shit. God dang, gosh darn it. There goes my French mouth again. But yeah, there is something magical about how, what's it called? At least as a kid, how I was like, oh my god, I recognize that treasure. That treasure is just like a D battery. It kind of I guess it's kind of weird because you never see a game just like be this explicit. Like, yeah, this is just Earth. All these treasures is household objects. There's something charming about how you can just recognize it. Before, it's like, oh, I recognize it, became a bit of a joke. Dude! It's a fucking... Oh my gosh. It's a freaking Duracell battery, bro! I have one of those in my house, I recognize it! Yeah, imagine that, but it's like you're 6 years old, so like the hype is increased tenfold. Once we get more people, right now I'm just like filling air for anybody passively watching. But I will elaborate on what I mean by Ironman when when we get a few more people here. For the two lurkers, Ironman simply means I don't get to save scum. This game is rather infamous for its RNG and lock-in caves, where it will just throw nightmares at you, and I'm just thinking, let's Ironman it. Where if the game throws nightmares at me, I'm just gonna have to hold it and tough it out. Instead of just mashing the reset button and restarting the floor. Because the game makes a save every time you enter a new floor of a cave. So, which means if you horribly mess up, you can just hit the restart button. But no, I think I'm gonna play it as the developer intends. I think he intends. They intend. Yeah, hold on. We're getting some pretty funky performance issues here. I'm gonna let these guys do that, and hold on, let me see if I can just tune this stuff in the background. Alright. Freaking sweet. This game has so many nice little details to it. My favorite detail is just the sheer amount of flavor text added to everything. Like, every single monster has a Picklepedia entry. When you save Louie, every single monster gets like a how-to-cook entry. Each item gets like notes from Olimar about it, and then you can get sales pitches for each item when you complete sets. It's all those tiny details that really make this game stick out for me, in my memory at least. I haven't played it in like a good decade, so this is gonna be a nice being like, hey, does this all still really hold up? The mail too. I know in the Switch remaster they've sanded down some of the mail entries. Like here, this place, when I was a kid, it's like at the end of every day, you just spend 5,000 hours in Picklepedia and feed these guys. In that too. But yeah, it's really fun just, for me, at least as a kid, we were just going into Picklepedia, just staring at the monsters, seeing how you can feed them, and reading extensively about how these are not Bulborbs, these are bread bugs. It also helps that the Bulborbs actually look pretty cute too, so. Let's get the pseudo-randomly generated caves, but hey. Dude, I'm freaking ready to work. The only major... Hey, Zarg. Yeah, I got free time because, work market. If the market says I can't get an actual job, then I won't get an actual job. No, I am employed, it's just I needed a second job. See, because, you know, frickin' New York. But hey. I got time, might as well stream. What's really annoying me is that there's only two, like, minimum level jobs that I know I enjoy, like, minimum wage jobs I know I enjoy doing, and that's, like, mailroom work, or, like, data entry, or washing dogs, and neither of which are, well, they're hiring, the people there who are hiring are just being real big bees about it. Like, I called some people to try and get another job, and they're like, oh, sorry, our job submission system is broken. You'll have to call back next month. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sorry that HR doesn't want to do any work for the next month, you know? I wonder what's causing all this lag. When we hit the first cave floor, I'm just gonna head back to options real quick and see if I can get that all sorted out and optimized. On the upside, at least controls are feeling really nice too. Yeah, the thing that's what's really annoying is that, yeah, I guess this is for anybody looking to get a job. When you apply to a job at a place you really want to, you have to call them back. They don't give a crud about you unless you luck. Like they're only gonna call like the first for however their system works. The first application that appears, they're typically gonna accept and call back. If your last name is not does not start with A, B, or C, phone call them back because they are not gonna call you back. All my job opportunities I got is because I got contacted by the actual team members. I didn't have to go through HR. It's because I phone called them, asked for the manager or the team member who I'd be working directly with, and said like, oh hey, here's the specific skills that I know you need for this job. Like, oh yeah, we need you. Okay, let's start the hiring process. If you get stuck to the HR filter, you are gambling. You need to get a hold of like somebody who actually has say in on HR. But enough about work. Well, maybe they'll probably be more about work. Yeah, you actually have to divide 3 by 6 in order to get to the next cave. Yes, you gotta count your Pikmin. Like last stream, I was talking about nostalgia, and then here I am, like, how it's like, I want new things, and I want to move forward, and here I am playing Pikmin 2. I have a proper excuse. My excuse is, this game, I want it to rock, and I haven't played it in 10 years. So, hey, a replay won't hurt. Oh, it feels so good. I wish I probably should have streamed Pikmin 1, and hold on. We can multitask here. This is all about time management. Time not spent slapping this fence. It's time wasted. As I turn that in, this is at least what's nice, is that my dog is bugging me. Because, who needs, food. There you go, bud. My dog is a spoiled boy. Sweet. So yeah, because about all that job talk, I want to find more stable work, but alongside my main job because I need that extra cash. But if they ain't giving it to me, might as well stream and get back in the good graces of the algorithm. The best case scenario is I'm working on a win-win scenario, where let's say something happens and it's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, the algorithm isn't gonna serve you, or what's it called? Sorry, do you get work? I'm streaming at proper time frames at times I know I can stream. I'm thinking Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That sounds pretty solid for me. I can stream at around like 1 or 2 o'clock in the Eastern Standard Time. So basically, no, unless I like work in 8-hour shifts, which is not the intention, I'm just trying to like work part-time shifts. Because I got a lot of work here I gotta take care of too. Then I can still have some time to stream. But yeah, the most important part is that I gotta get a consistent schedule down. We gotta get back in the good grace of the algorithm. We got 18k subs. Can't let that go to waste. It's like $18,000 if I get everybody to to donate in soy jack can. I did not notice that. It's like $18,000, you know? I have like a pretty fat backlog of games to get through. Pikmin 2 is just like, I don't know. Pikmin 2 is such a perfect game to stream too. Because you're just doing a lot of simple busy work. You get a lot of time to chill and think. Until you enter the caves and we get the true monstrosities happening. But I prefer, like, if I were to stream games, I would prefer to stream old games with other people. Yo, Blue Gemini. I think you've been here before, but either way. Yo. Okay, we got that down. IO Banquet? Dude, like, online content creation is like, I remember Same here, boss. I remember it as one of my favorite games, so I'm giving it another good shot. But yeah, I think content creation is pretty crazy how, like, it's now way more viable as an actual career now, compared to, like, back... When I was in high school, the only person who, like, there's very few people who could make it big playing games, and, like, PewDiePie was the poster child, man. Murder Drones analysis vids? Hey, I don't really have much nice things to say about Murder Drones. It's got very zoomer humor. I can't dig it, even as a robot enthusiast here. But it's kind of crazy how much the how huge there's the demographics for what's it called? For online content creation has become. I've seen people with like 50K subs getting like sponsorships for their videos, for like cartoon analysis or whatever. They're not even like huge YouTubers, and even they're getting sponsors. It's like, wow. It's crazy seeing how accessible it is. Because I remember, when I was younger, this channel, I've had it since I was 13 years old. And I thought, you know what? If you want to know how old I got Minecraft, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna be the next Yogscast, you know? No, sorry, this mic is a little bit loud. Let me turn it down by like 2 decibels. There we go. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be the next Yogscast. I made all those videos are wiped and lost to time. You guys know it. Not everybody, like, we don't know about the new lurkers. I made a bunch of Minecraft mod videos. All that stuff, gone. You will, you'll never see it again. I wiped all those videos. There's still evidence of the mods I used to make. Cool, I think that video is, that video is still somewhere on this channel. Or I show my IP address to everybody multiple times, because I'm not aware of, that's actually a decent security threat. There's also a lot more that was saved on my old MacBook, but that MacBook is, like, is cooked. No, that wasn't the docs. Granted, that docs was, I just didn't give a poop. Because that was, my dad's spam email. I don't think he even remembers the password to that crud. Oh yeah, now, so we got a handy amount of people here. I call him this Pikmin Ironman because if the caves send a nuclear bomb my way and kill everything and I have no control over that, I'm holding it. Yeah, we're getting loads of money. Showed my full name? Did it? Oh yeah, that's right, I don't care because there's like 20 different Mexicans with my full name, so I'm pretty safe. It's like you've heard of I'm hiding behind 7 VPNs, I'm hiding behind 7 Mexicans. Not even hiding behind, I'm hiding in a crowd of 7 Mexicans. All who live in the, well, they're all who lived in the same area, so it's like, if you look up my name, you'll get several different, you'll get my full name from, like, 20 different people. All who live in the same area. So I'm safe for now. Now, it's kind of weird now how it's like, it matters kind of less because my online and offline personalities have somewhat melded. Since I've met a lot of people who I met initially online in real life, so now, what's it called? All this stuff is connected. It's Earth, guys! And this is when we get our God Kings. So this is what, I love the frickin' music on this in this game. I looked at the full soundtrack to all this, and it's like the dynamic music is another thing that just like helps add to how great this game is. It's so many tiny details to this game that just bring it all together beautifully. Ah man, this game. I will repeat it again to those who did not hear before. Pikmin 1, great GameCube. Very charming, but the controls are rough around the edges and make it kind of more frustrating than anything to play. Everything is so nice. It is so responsive. All these guys respond exactly how I want them to. Ah, I feel so good! Now bow to your new gods. These guys, oh. If they weren't so troublesome to get, I would have, abused the heck out of these guys when I was younger. We also gotta make sure we conserve these guys too. Because, we got Doomsday Apparatus. I remember when farming for Doomsday Apparatus, it was this cave primarily that I grinded to try and get it. Actually, no, that's right. I didn't even get that far before on my replays. I usually played this game with my dad when I was a wee lad. Purple Pikmin are actually just the goats. That's what they are. Just by making up that limited population. They'll carry you through the game. They're obscenely powerful. They just annihilate everything. They eat nuclear bombs for breakfast. In fact, they are nuclear bombs. If I remember correctly. Now, granted, I think the devs of this game did understand how nuclear caves can be, because it's actually pretty forgiving when it comes to exploration, because you don't need to have your Pikmin with you. They'll just automatically group with you. So you can, if you're like in a rough spot, you don't have to have your Pikmin near you to like descend deeper or anything like that. Eighth board. The only real exception to a cave being very difficult is the submerged castle. We'll get there when we get there. They're plants, actually. We still want to work. Let us wage, dude. This is unrealistic. I thought we were working for a corporation. What do you mean nonsense? You must rest. What is this? No wonder this game is setting up unrealistic expectations for the workplace. Ah. So far, I'm I know the Empress Bull Blacks is another portion where it's just like you can see hell get unleashed on Earth if you ruin everything. Yeah, exactly. See, we're debt maxing. So yeah, we may owe you $10,000 but what are you gonna repossess from me, bro? You know, this is one thing also related to Pikmin and related to modern gaming as well. This game reuses a lot of assets from Pikmin 1. A lot of the maps are like just carried over but retooled. But this game does it in such a creative method that it's like you barely even notice because everything's kind of like brushed up so well. You get a different coat of paint. All the maps are the exact same one from Pikmin 1, but they just added the caves, tightened up the controls, added the treasures, added some, and just added enough stuff to make it like hard to distinguish. It's like a lot of modern, the modern PS5 quote-unquote gamers are like, or just I see this hatred towards asset reuse, but you can use it. You can get away with a lot. Yeah, Nintendo's making ROM hacks of Pikmin 1. Yeah, I am pro asset reuse because it's like, come on. Get him. Okay, I gotta use the D-pad. My D-pad's a little bit crusty, since, this is an ancient game controller I'm using. But yeah, like, I think this is one of the best examples of smart asset reuse. Because the caves are are pseudo-randomly generated. The assets of the overworld maps are just remixed and retooled. But they're just different enough. And now you're gonna see let's show you why. Oh. Nuclear bombs. So what makes, for those of you not in the Pikmin know, purple Pikmin have a percentile chance of stunning things. They are nuclear. I'm not kidding when I say they are nuclear bombs. Honestly, like, since I've gotten, like, maybe Pikmin 2 is, like, what initially got me hooked on strategy games. Because now when I play Pikmin, I'm like, how can I, like, further optimize these days? Ooh, we got... I'd say no. If you can't say I'm... Oh my god. Sorry, that's just a very funny chat message to see out loud. Nah, keep it. Let's try and keep it clean here. Sorry, that's just a very funny sentence to say, I think. Alright, now we're full here. We're gonna get some nectar too to get our purples flowered. Hell blood in my brother in Christ. You gotta bring back white people talk. Like I'm losing my marbles. Unironically. Like, alright, buddy, now you ask for it. Yeah, you're on thin ice, mister. Yeah, we want to make sure all of our purples have flower. Oh, one purple did not get flowered. So smacking that. We can get some spicy spray. Got a nice army of reds ready to go. Like also, okay. You know what's another favorite one of mine is like, all right, no more Mr. Nice Guy. That's what we gotta bring back the most. Okay, you take these balls back. I think another thing is like when since they recycled all the maps and most of the caves were like pseudo randomly generated, you get to focus on like all the fluff of the game that makes the game really stand out. So like you get to add like you get to focus a lot on the music, you get to focus a lot more on the sound design. The music is where it pays off the most in my opinion. It's like the little shifts to music for every time a task, like for like whether you're fighting or if a task is being done, you really notice that impact. And I want to just make sure we get enough this bitter spray, or no, the spicy spray. Along with enemy design, too. They get to go really crazy with the enemy design. Ah, the Brat spray. Further going like the mechanics of what made purple so broken. So the purples not only have that chance to stun, but they also deal bonus damage on impact when they land on people. So if you just combine both of those, they just become nuclear bombs when you have more than 20 of them. Absolute devious creatures. That reminds me, the only Pikmin game I have not played is Pikmin 4. I have not gotten my copy of that yet. Oh yeah, they're heckin' chunkers. I have heard some unfortunate things about it, like Otachi is pretty broken. I heard when you like kill enemies on the surface, they're just gone forever. I'm gonna need more purples, okay. The most I heard was like the respawn times, the caves being... Oh fuck, oh fuck. Maneuver! Watch this. If he just fucks at the bite, he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna kill myself. Oh. Oh god. Oh, I lost the purple in that. Okay, I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. But yeah, those guys, if they screw up the bite, they just smack themselves in the stomach, make themselves vulnerable. Which I find pretty funny. But I completely screwed up my chain stun there, so I'm gonna be paying for that. The thing with like the decisions with Pikmin 4, this is just me from an observer, is that those decisions kind of like affect the overall experience. Like having enemies never respawn on the surface, that's like super rough. It's like, so once you clear out, because like normally, already, if you want to do anything, you want to make sure all those enemies are cleared out. It's like, oh, then you only have to do it once. I know Pikmin 2 has, like a slightly increasing difficulty and a respawn timer for these monsters. Can't even farm Pikmin? Eh, man. That's actually... What am I doing? We should probably just, like, beeline to that cave. Grab us 100 reds and get moving. Well, 95 reds rather. See, map genocide is one thing. Granted, like, you can always choose not to use Otachi, but he's such a useful tool that it's like... I really don't like the don't use it argument. Because it's like, it's there, it's a useful tool, and it's an easily accessible tool, and a lot of the game might be designed around use over that really powerful tool. So it's like a little bit rough. There we go. Okay. I heard that the caves were kind of like mid as well, but that's a little bit more subjective. I also heard that there was like no whistle, so you can't like waggle Pikmin around. Like swarming is not a thing. And then the last thing I heard, which was pretty bad, was the auto lock on. Like you can't do this in Pikmin 4, which is what I heard. Like I heard that you have to go through like a really obnoxious side quest in order to unlock that. Now, mind you, like, those setbacks might not, like, take a lot away from the whole experience. But one thing about Pikmin 2's, like, major flaws. Some people think, like, because the caves give you infinite time, they're kind of too easy. But, I think it's, like, a middle ground. Where caves, like, but caves at least stay interesting, I think. I think there's like a nicer middle ground they could have gone with the time limit, but I think they understood that these caves were pretty dang brutal. And we're like, okay, it's better that we like make these caves as easy as possible, so when we throw the hammer of God at you, you can just restart and not have to worry too much. I remember when we were younger, we know that Pikmin 1 had the 30-day time limit. So, the playground rumor spread. We're like, no, okay, so Pikmin 2 has a 40-day time limit. If you don't pay off the debt by 40 days, you get game over. But it wasn't ever listed. So that just spread as playground rumor, so there's still that intensity to get the debt paid off as soon as possible. That, and very soon, we learn about the save scumming trick for caves, so I think that's the biggest reason why, even if there was a time limit, it wouldn't be too big of an issue, because caves have infinite time, and you can save scum caves. But, like, I wouldn't call them the issue with the caves and the lack of, hard time limit a flaw. I would rather call it a shortcoming, because though, like, the lack of, urgency in caves doesn't take away from the experience of the game. Games are like complete products, and you should just like view them at like, and you should instead view them as like, okay, so it's like, yeah, how does this game like how does this game feel as a complete product? Which is why like I say like Pikmin 1 for GameCube at least is a pretty solid like 7 out of 10, because there's a lot of annoyance to the controls and gameplay. This is for the original release. The Switch release is much better, where it feels like you're trying to, like, wrestle with your Pikmin. Your Pikmin have ADHD, they'll constantly get distracted, they'll constantly kill themselves, the throwing is a little bit wonky, swarming is a little bit wonky. It just needs a little bit more refinement. But the game is carried by its really good presentation, the fact that it's, like, a very short game, so you don't have to deal with those annoyances for super long. And it's like a very relaxing experience, even with the time limit. So like as a complete experience, despite like its major gameplay flaws, it's still a pretty fun and enjoyable game to get through, because there's just more avenues to enjoy things with. Oh. Oh, I knew it. I was like, yeah, that's right. Can't you just like purple stop these guys? Oh! Let's fucking go. Frickin' go. And this game stacks on like those little passive elements that makes this game feel so much nicer. Like the Pikmin singing, the music, much better controls, much nicer atmosphere. Like, ooh. Okay, and this is the Hole of Beasts is what people use to farm purples. I think the flaws I saw, which is more something I'll see in retrospect. I heard some flaws, but like when I hear people have their issues with the game, one issue is that like purple are so overwhelmingly strong that like you're gonna be using them most of the time. Like the only time you'd use blue is for specific water-based treasures. But like say for example, fire hazards. You can technically disable them you don't need red Pikmin to disable them. You could just like time your throws and then just like with purples or other colored Pikmins and just take them out really easy one at a time and not really have much of a risk because the whistle is much more responsive. It's really easy to mitigate that risk. Electric is the only exception because the risk of getting electrocuted is too dang high. So like watch, for example. You don't need reds to take that out. You can just throw a bunch of purples at them. I'll see that later. I never noticed it because I always brought a healthy balance of every Pikmin to every cave. But it seems like I'm bringing a majority purple and some yellow just to deal with the insta-kill enemies. Is the only issue. Is like the meta to go. I wouldn't even consider that a super huge flaw, because that's something that you kind of notice after experimenting with the game. Where it's like, wait a second, you know. So water is an obstacle that you need someone to hard counter, so you might want to bring some blues if a cave says water. Fire, you can completely ignore. Red Pikmin have like a small attack damage boost, but that's it. Electricity, major threat, you might want to bring some yellows to deal with electricity threats, because the consequence for screwing up is too high. Yeah, water, not the biggest. Poison, ignorable, but you actually do want to keep a few whites on your team at all time, because there's buried treasure. So I think the game still does a decent chance of incentivizing that for, like, first playthroughs. Like, on second playthroughs, that's when you can, like, start optimizing parties for every cave and all that. Because if you know which caves have buried treasure, then you're gonna be like, okay, I'll just bring like 5 whites to help dig up that buried treasure. But for the first time playthrough, there's enough incentives to bring a pretty well balanced party into every cave. I think fire's the only exception, because fire, except for like I think fiery Bulblax is. Actually, no, you can. I think you can turn them to stone and then stun lock them. And isn't there, I think there's only 2 fiery Bulblaxes in the entire game. One which is on the surface, and the other which is in the submerged castle. Yeah, the one in the submerged castle you actually pretty creatively. Pikmin 3, yeah, Pikmin 3 is mostly surface-based, but I heard people had like a lot of enjoyment out of bonus mode, which I never played. Oh my god. It's so powerful, they slowed down my GameCube. Yeah, so you can get 15 purples from this cave. I see why this is like the Purple Brine cave. Granted, like in the Wii U version, White Pikmin are actually pretty handy because they move very fast. That speed is pretty good for just like carrying multiple things at once. Other than that, and they also explode and poison if they get eaten, but they're kind of counterintuitive because you don't want them to get eaten. They are very rare. They're very annoying to get. White Flower Garden is the most consistent place you can get them, and it's kind of obnoxious to get through. A drink up. We're going with a solo army. It's the purples. We're going with the purple gang. I'm thinking like 100 purples, 5 yellows, and 5 whites is like that optimal strategy for everything. And maybe some blue if the cave says it has water. Alright. Hey chat, your mom is the next boss, and you're gonna fight your mom next. This is also a tiny little detail I love. I love, like, the flattened, like, Empress Bull, the smaller Empress Bullblack's outline right here, as if it just fell down here, and then, like, all the splats on the floor. Okay. Okay, we're gonna brap him. Oh! How did they get there? This boss used to filter me as a kid. Because, like, I didn't realize, like, oh, you should probably, like, just call them off and just, like, bait out these attacks. It is a very good child filter boss, though, because, like, if you, like, try to swarm, you just die super fast. Alright, we got the love tester. Funny enough, this love tester was an actual Nintendo product. So that makes it kind of funnier in retrospect. Like, I was like, oh, what's a love tester when I was a kid? Like, what the heck is this love tester? And then you look it up when you're older. It's like, oh, you know, it's another Nintendo product. But Lord knows, you know, I'm surprised Nintendo didn't re-release this as, like, the treasure finder, as, like, merchandise. No, admittedly, it wasn't just me. But I remember in the early 80s, during, like, the first video, like, Nintendo boom, like, alongside Pokemon, there was, like, a huge amount of video game merch you could get your hands on. But it feels like in, like, the early 2000s, outside of, like, Pokemon, it felt like there was a desert. Like, there was, like, a vacuum of video game-related merch that you just could not find. Like, you wanted a Mario toy? No, you weren't getting no Mario toys. I saw people with Pikmin plushes, but the only places I could find them when I was younger was, like, on eBay. Stuff like that. So where do they get these Pikmin plushes? I can't find these at Target. Like, if you wanted your video game merchandise, you had to be a Pokemon kid. And honestly, Pokemon had some pretty cool toys, not gonna lie. Hey chat, let's double tap. We got enough perps for this, so... I think this would work out much better if, like, entering a cave, like, took off a quarter of the day. Because then, this means we go straight to the White Flower Garden. Yeah, this game is, because of the time stuff in these caves, very, very speedrunnable. to just stop time when you enter it. I know Pikmin 4 had time still continue on. Now with a nicer palette of games under my belt, I think they could probably do something like that, like a little bit of mix. I think one of the games I think about was Etrian Odyssey 3, where like you could get tents and camp out and camp out overnight in in caves of the dungeon. Pikmin 2 added camping and fishing, and maybe a 6-pack of brewskis. It'd be utter peak. Oh. I don't say that word, bruh. I don't want to summon them. I hate how like there's some words you have to be zero tolerance on because it might just summon the most obnoxious people on Earth. I need to have a hardened stance against that. You know, other fun memory I had. This purple stuff, I used to think this was the poison. So like I always try to like maneuver my Pikmin around the purple, thinking that I'd kill them instantly. But no, it's just purple. That's what's annoying about the internet. Sometimes it's like you gotta be just like hard, like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this at all, and I'm not gonna risk dealing with any of this. Billboard. Alright. Like, man, if that's one thing that Twitter recently is proving, it's like, it is so easy to summon the most obnoxious people on Earth. Okay, I remember these blowhogs are actual threats, just because their blow attack will throw your Pikmin over the cliff. So we're gonna give them that. We're gonna give them the hands. Oh my god. Yeah, those guys are actually dangerous in this floor in particular, because they'll just like blow your Pikmin off the cliff to try to attack them. So you gotta stun lock them pretty fast. I do think purples are a bit too powerful of a tool in this, but I think the easy way to adjust it is just prevent stun locking. Give them slight stun immunity if they get stunned. It's because nobody else can afford to make a site like Twitter. I cannot imagine the data server costs, because what Twitter also doubles as, essentially, it doubles as an image and video hosting site. And if you got like a billion people on that site, data center costs are going to be hellishly huge. I'm not sure how, maybe Blue Sky also has its fingers in the, what's it called? Blue Sky also probably has its fingers in like some Silicon Valley bank, like taking it for everything they're worth. But Blue Sky lacks a lot of content controls that Twitter lacks. Funny, I can't turn off retweets, and it keeps promoting like the most annoying ham-fisted crud on my TL, and it's so unpleasant. It's like people are like retweeting every single atrocity that's happening in the world. So I'm like, look at these atrocities. Why isn't the government doing anything about it? And it's like, dude, the human mind is not built to process every single atrocity going on in the world. I wish the government could do something about every atrocity in the world, but they're not. And they won't, unfortunately, until I do something about, until I can be charismatic enough to do something about it. But I can't. So stop making me look at people's limbs being blown off and saying, like, look at how bad this is. I understand the world's bad, please. Hang on one second. Alright. Excuse me. And Twitter's the opposite. Twitter's just like, you go to the For You tab, and you'll see somebody get executed. And it'll just randomly give you videos of people being, like, shot in the head because the account owners paid for Twitter Blue. And they want to make money off of people getting shot in the head or decapitated. Rage bait, oh my god. Paying to boost engagement is like a nightmare. I have a friend who believes that Twitter might be making money because they cut off, like, they fired most of the staff. I highly doubt it, man. With the revenue sharing, even with, like, Twitter verified, the only thing we know is that even with Twitter having, like, having a paid tier of users, you're still making, like, half as much money as Twitter in its prime back in, like, 2017. I think that should say a lot about, like, how rough the place must be. Yeah, I know. When I was younger, I really liked the white Pikmin the most. I really like how fast they were, and they just liked to dig up stuff. Apologies if I'm talking about Twitter, but man, it's unfortunate that social media like now can actually affect political policy. I just like to talk about, like, the practicality of technology and websites and such. I've been going a lot more into software and computer hardware research, and it's really fun digging into the nitty-gritty of, like, how these sites function and whatnot. Oh, they're just zooming. Like, if I were to, like, design, like, I think Discord's gonna get the same issue, where I guess they have, like, infinite Silicon Valley money. So they can afford to be like, yeah, we can, like, yeah, you can just store your images infinitely. When, if, like, a company was trying to, like, didn't have an infinite money bank, just bankrolling everything that they wanted to build and go for infinite growth, I think Discord would, like, just have, I honestly think a paid tier for Discord could still work. But you just, like, you could pay for premium servers that can, like, double as cloud storages or whatever. So not everybody could just turn Discord into a wiki. I think storage tends to be, like, the biggest factor for all these web hosting sites, because it's like, when you got 1 million people uploading 1 million images every minute, those prices are gonna suck. If I remember correctly. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I made a mistake. Back here. Get up. What are you doing? Oh. These speedy boys, they're my favorite. I think I like them the most, because, like, when you get them flowered, they can keep up with Olimar just running at max speed. Which is a pretty big treat. I think it's from, like, I forget the cave. Hole of Heroes? No, that's post-game. There's one place where you get boots that make you run significantly faster, but I think it's like a downgrade, because it means you will always, like, zoom past, like, you'll have to, like, manually slow yourself down in order for your Pikmin to keep up with you. But I know whites with the flower can, like, keep up with Olimar no matter what. It's also really handy if you just need them to, like, carry some stuff. There we go. Hold on. Zoom. Bring these to my chapped lips. for the air is actually pretty moist out today. I gotta say, completely random. I guess kind of related to chapstick. I have not had a chapped lips in ages because New York stays pretty moist. I mean, it's kind of a given for a coastal city. But it has been very moist these past few days. Alright, and let me see if this other trick I learned. Okay, where are you, you snag? Oh, man. Obliterated. Oh, just annihilated. Sent it to the Shadow Realm. So I remember it's like they nerfed the Snagrit's health in this game, and you could just kill him before he even gets a chance to do anything with some mad button mashing. Oh boy. Didn't stand a chance. Even difficulty aside, though. You know, this is kind of like how I'm even approaching movies when I play games. I just want it to be like a nice experience. If I'm looking for difficulty, I'll seek out a difficult game. And yo, Cryptid. Yeah, I'm going Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for streams around this time. Probably gonna be like 2 to 4 hours-ish. Either way, good luck with the waging. Bada bing, bada boom. Ah. Like, as long as the game's overall experience is pleasant, and I kept coming, like, I mean, first of all, you want a game to be good enough that you want to keep coming back every day. Like, even for small sessions. Second of all, you just want the overall experience to be good. One game I played recently was Dredge. Let's throw all these guys here. Because I just don't want them to get caught in any crossfire. Come with me. My white army. I'm trying to stop myself from saying any jokes that could get me demonetized or, Oh, man. So what I'm thinking? We'll just split them up here. Ooh. Okay, we'll focus on this. Get that thing unraveled then. Yeah, we'll need some yellows before we get the blues. I'm gonna try and avoid being super grindy unless necessary to. Nah, it was a rebrand. Because if you look up the word Gamer Crab, my channel is buried underneath that Squid Game parody game. So I thought we'll go to I'll be Liquid Walker, the Punished Doug, a critic with no country. I've been running with a Nostalgia Critic bit on Steam for the past year, and I think it's getting me pretty far. There's nothing much else we can do here. Yeah, I was just saying, I'm gonna try and avoid grinding unless absolutely necessary. I think I only might need to do some grinding if I lose some of our whites. I think I should get some purples over here in preparation, because we're gonna need to get that creeping chrysanthem. So also, should I mention, this game's got, like, some stellar naming conventions. Creeping chrysanthem, bullboar, bullblacks, burrowing snagret, snitch bugs, dweevils. Gatling Groink. Oh, Gatling Groink's like a peak name. Toady Bloister, Raging Bloister. Surprisingly, all the old streams are still privated. I thought I deleted them, but they're still there. Part of me wants to just like put them all onto an NAS and like just give out keys to the ancient Ben lore. But man, I don't think my heart could take it. It There we go, die, bitch. Yep, I do still have it. Oh yeah, we gotta say unalive now. Yeah, we're not getting this back in time. Make sure we got everyone. Hold on, so there's like there? Okay. What? Hole of Beast, what the hell is to call your mom? Your mom is actually in the Hole of Beast right now. What I guess in Kaidu Gambit it mean? Oh god. Pardon me. Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do, but every single old stream I did from 2016, including my old commentary list FTL streams. Now, here's the thing. Stuff like glazing, yap, and gaslighting, those are good terms. Those, are very good. I think those are very good terms that just, do the job well. Unalive exists just to circumvent, is a cringy way to circumvent, the algorithm. That's the difference between Unalive and, the rest of Zoomer lingo. Or should I say Gen Alpha and now Gen Beta lingo. That's right, everybody born now is a beta, automatically. Alright. Come out, my Reds. We must wage war. Forget the post where it's like, man, that's the one thing the internet does kind of need. Ironically, as a kid as somebody who was under 18, I think maybe I don't know, even 16-year-olds nowadays could be pretty obnoxious. You know, maybe the internet of today is just not worth it for kids. I'm not even sure. I don't know. It's really hard to like come to the term of like who the internet is proper for. It being unregulated, I still think it should be like a minimally regulated space. But at the same time, it's like, oh, that's not the best for kids. Why are those worms? You bastards. It's like, oh, you want a piece of this? These bugs always freak me out as kids, because you carry them back to the onion, they're still alive. That freaked me out as a kid. But I think, oh yeah, I think the biggest space is that kids can be allowed on the internet. It's that they don't have any spaces anymore. Every single online space has just become either it's just Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. There's no proper spaces for kids, and I think that's very damaging. Okay, so we can grab that there. Hold on, I need to get these guys working on this fence over here. Like when I was a kid, I was on like Webkins or Toontown, and my dad had, or Line Rider. It's not just about throwing adults under the bus. It's just that, yeah, very obviously, you need very distinct. You need like your very distinct spaces for children and for adults. That's just like common sense. I think it's like, if you're gonna have an online space for kids, it just needs to be... What do we got? It needs to be something very well made. This is one thing, here I am going on my media ramble. I'm a big media consumer, you know? I'm a multi-fandom enjoyer. I like to eat multiple scoops of ice cream. But one of the most important parts about kids media that I think is kind of lost with the online era, because it's like YouTubers have become successful children's entertainers just by like playing Minecraft and acting goofy. That children's media, I think, is probably one of the hardest things to make. And I'm not talking about for like adolescents. I think adolescence is a nice middle ground. I'm talking for like 5 to 10-year-olds, because you need to make something that's like that's creatively engaging and that won't rot their brain. And you need to be, like, intelligent to design something that won't rot somebody's brain, and that's also for kids. Like a lot of people who made like some of those popular kids shows, they had PhDs. Steven Hillenberg was like a marine biologist. Like he had like the degree and everything. And SpongeBob started off as like an educational show, But I was like, you know what? Let's make this, like, a bit more comedic. Let's make it more fun. And, you know, that paid off immensely. So sometimes I do just watch random kids' cartoons just to see, like, you know, if I were a dad and I was watching this with my kid, do I feel insulted or not? That's like, I think that's like the baseline a lot of parents should have it, where if kids are gonna watch TV, at least have the adults enjoy the TV with the kids, so it becomes a more of a familial experience rather than having the TV replace parenting, you know. I think some of my fondest memories was when I was how old was I? I think 10, 11. And every week, like, Avatar: Last Airbender would come on. I think there was reruns of it. Would come on at around same time every day, and it became kind of like a ritual for me and my family to gather around and watch Matla. And a lot of it helped because it was like both a show that like kids could get behind, and it was engaging enough for adults to enjoy as well. Like, reaching that balance is, like, something that takes a freaking, like, a master's touch in order to do proper. When it comes to social spaces, it's, like, the only place adults and children should, like, regularly interact a lot of time, who aren't their parents, I guess would be, like, at school. But a lot of teachers are only teaching for their pensions because they ain't getting paid enough. So they're like, yeah, you know, why should I care? I would like to imagine if you I would like to imagine that there's obviously gonna be slackers in the workspace. What's up here? But like, if you pay people what they feel's worth for their job, or like, no matter the stress the job causes, pay people their worth, and it's like engaging enough for them, they'll gladly work any job efficiently. Like, it reminds me how recently an airport near San Francisco closed down because the air traffic controller. There's only one traffic controller at one of these smaller airports there, and he happily worked that until they said, "Oh, by the way, we're not gonna match. We're not gonna pay you. We're not gonna stick to our agreement." Because the agreement for him was that he would work there, but they would also pay his rent while he's working there, so he can keep working that job and not worry about, you know, getting evicted. They decided to go nah, you don't need your rent, and so he just said, okay, I'm gonna walk then. And that airport had to get shut down because, you know, you can't just be like, yeah, you know what? We're not gonna pay you what you're worth. It's more of an American thing, but economic mobility is king here. Which is why I believe getting, paid your worth for your job is really important. Because if you pay somebody good, they'll work harder, they'll work more efficiently, and if they don't like the job, they'll have the economic mobility to be like, you know what, I can expand my horizons a little bit more now. Right now we're just, farming these berries. There's not much else we can do here because we did not get the globe in time. Unfortunately, the employer Chad failed because now he's making negative money. Because his place could not function without that air traffic controller. I'm surprised. I am very surprised employers can even get that ballsy. Also, we got 7 people here? Hell yeah. How's everybody going? I'm just talking about how people deserve fair wages because that just incentivizes them to work better. Weird Rentoid Cope, yeah. It's oh, man. You guys can fuck this. I think there's, something buried around here. Oh, there is. Okay, now I remember. You. Go over here. You can still get one treasure and make some of this worth it. I'll never be a homeowner? You know, I'm, almost on my way there. I could legitimately be a homeowner if I did not live in New York. But that's for future plans, you know? I mean, to be honest, technically, I am a homeowner, but we gotta sell that house. That's a bit too much about my real life stuff. Well, technically, I could become I'm surprised. You know, why don't I invest in that? I'm thinking out loud now. All I gotta say is that I've been wrestling with courts and a lot of frustrating people for ownership over that. We love our legal systems and how brilliantly efficient it can be. All I know is that I'm never gonna be a homeowner in New York. But by God, I can keep on hoping and dreaming that I can have the passive income to just move into Wyoming, have no other human being for the next 100 square miles, and be like, yes, I can live here. This is pretty standard day. We're just getting our funny up. I'll take these because I want to at least get some of the burp spray. Kind of funny how I remember I could never get the burp spray until like I got blues, but because those rock puzzles, these platform puzzles, they make me do math, and I'm like, I don't want to do math. What do you mean bouncing weights? Whoa, how did I miss this? Freaking sweet! Wait, that's right, I can just have Louie throw that other guy back up. There we go. Yeah, take advantage of like the split, like being two places at once mechanic of this game. I think we made pretty good profit today. Now we're gonna get our burp spray. Oh, what do you mean? That was 10. Ah, well. I guess we can go to Sunset. Get to the perplexing pool. You know, speaking of old stuff, I was talking about how it's like I find like a tiny bit hypocritical of me. Well, like, oh, I want to see like new creative stuff, and I always fall back on like talking about like, oh, I want to watch these old movies. I want to watch these like old shows that I missed out on. Perennial manager. Heck yes. And it's like, I want to watch more old Simpsons. I want to play more old games I haven't played in forever. Alright, perplexing pool. Let's go. But then again, that's just because nothing new really interests me. The newest game that I played this year was Dredge and Monster Hunter Wilds, and Monster Hunter Wilds, it's got... performance is inexcusable for the money we paid for that. I guess I can say I'm, like, interested in the Raito remake. I wish it could say that about when I grow older, but it's like... nah, I think it's just because, There is obviously the aggressive commodification of everything. How, private equity is now becoming more of a thing. I see that a lot of people just, like, outright blaming capitalism, but it's just straightforward. It's like, people's like, oh, you know, corporations are interfering on art. But it's like, corporations and mass funding has always been hand-in-hand with, like, art and game dev. It's just become more and more apparent nowadays because there's easier avenues to, like, just monetize things. I think that's it. It's just like there's much easier avenues to blatantly monetize things. Like before, you know, if you wanted people to, like, buy your game and not rent it forever, what you would do is that you just be, okay, you know what? We're just gonna make this game hard as balls, and you're gonna have to, like, buy this expensive game cartridge if you want to play it. We all know that, like, that was a practice. Same thing for token taker games, for example. But they were less apparent, and the game still had to be fun to, like, engage you to play through their mountains of BS. Now, the best I can say is just now, it's very, very apparent when, like, you're being scammed. This is kind of, the most recent example I can say is with Dredge. Fantastic game, but there is a locked workshop on an island where it's just like, this game is all about, like, exploring and discovering mysteries, you know? Watch this. One purple. We'll sink this guy. Yeah! And that workshop, and like, there's a locked workshop. It's like, oh, what's mysterious? I searched all of the map, tried to find a key. Couldn't find anything for it. Gave up, so I googled the answer. And was like, oh yeah, if you want to unlock that secret locked workshop, you just have to buy the DLC. It's like, seriously? There we go. So we'll save this for our yellow friends. The one thing I will say that's tougher to play now that I'm older are open world games and RPGs. I would kill to have the time and energy of me when I was like 14 and 15, where I could just extensively and very, like, sink myself deep into, like, in a JRPG. Like, Strange Journey was, like, a huge one that granted, I was, like, around 18 when I sunk into Strange Journey, but I sank so much time into that game. Etrian Odyssey games, every single one, I sank so much time into those games. It felt so good. And, like, a lot of that time is just energy. I'm just older. I actually had, like, there's one game that I really wanted to get into was the Tales of games. Like, so I got Tales of Symphonia on Steam, tried to play through it, but, like, it just felt so hard to sink my teeth into it. And I feel kind of bad about that. Because the games are not bad games. I think they're pretty solid. It's just knowing how much time I'm gonna have to put into them turns me off from them a bit. Same thing for open world games. The last open world game I played was Morrowind. I guess Dredge kind of counts as open world, but this I'm talking about Dredge a lot because it encapsulates a lot about what I love and dislike about modern game design. Dredge is a pretty short game. It's a 12-hour experience. It's an open world one. But I think that those 12 hours work really well to its advantage. Because, like, right when the game loop of fishing and exploring starts to get boring, the game is like, okay, yeah, we know this is getting boring, so we're gonna wrap things up now. need to stop the worms. Get him! See you later, Cryptid. Have a good day at work. The Tales of games kind of have the same deal. I don't think there's any unifying factors. They're just, it's kind of, I guess Final Fantasy would be the closest comparison. Because they just offer a weird, unique fantasy experience. I like the art a lot in the older ones, too. I can't say the same for the newer ones, but I really like how they're the character focus on some of them. I like the tiny little party interactions. It's got a lot going for it under the surface that I enjoy. I probably should have brought Louie up. I haven't played enough of the Tales of games to, like, really say what gets them to click. I know they have some pretty slow starts. They have very unique combat. I could say that for sure. But the issue, this is one issue I found with, like, with a lot of RPGs in general. When they offer some unique combat, ugh, random encounters tend to work against their favor. Having the ability to say, like, oh, screw it, I'm out of here, is very handy. But, like, when you have to, like, constantly stay engaged and you have, like, no option to auto-mash through, random battles, it becomes a little bit frustrating. The biggest draw of the Tales of series, I would have to say, is that it is it's more character-focused compared to others compared to other JRPGs. Like, when I say, like, what do I enjoy about Final Fantasy? It is definitely, like, the grand scale a lot of those games have. I can't really say I care much for the characters about them, but they always tell, like, pretty grand, unique stories. While Symphonia still has its grand stories, it, like, has a lot of, like, miniature, character interactions, which I really enjoy. It's got a lot of charm to it. The art style is pretty nice. It's pretty swag, if I do say so myself. I've always been meaning to, like, sync. I think I've only played, Tales of Fantasia. Like, halfway through. I kind of watched the rest of my playthrough because I just kind of got tired of the gameplay loop. Because as as combat gets so long the later you get in, because, like, the summon animations get longer, you have to then enemies get more health. So it's kind of it gets very slow. Unfortunately, when you're an adult, your time matters a bit more. Oh, hold on. Where are you going? Ah, whatever. You can just take that. Whatever. You don't need it. Our bro's stuck. I've been a little bit more of a TV watcher as of late. I should be reading a lot more, but I've at least been like made it a habit to like read whenever I'm on the subway. I think no. It's always been the other way around. TV shows are like trying to stick to the binge model, so they tend to be slower. Yeah, we're just gonna probably spend most of today getting our yells built up. Bro! What's your problem? Let's get a quick scan on our Pikmin. All in pretty good shape. Netflix? Netflix didn't popularize that. They popularized, like, making shows really long, but still well-made, like, arcs. I think that's what they popularized. And the thing about how they do that, like, Stranger Things has, like, become the biggest offender for that. But it's kind of crazy, because, like, I'm a big mecha fan. I usually run into discussions about watching, like, the original Mobile Suit Gundam, and, like, I've been watching Kamen Rider a lot recently. Kamen Rider's got, like, it got 50 episodes. And people, like, the number 50 will turn people off. It's like, oh, that's 50 episodes, that's so long. But when you compare that episode length with, let's just say, the latest season of Stranger Things, which people happily watch, they're roughly around the same watch time. It's just one you can break up into more parts and slowly get through. Yeah, you better know your fucking place, Zarg. Oh my god, there again. I should really install, like, a stream swear jar. And Invincible has some, like, I think people's, like, Invincible is like Dragon Ball Z for white people. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I do slightly, not gonna lie, I do kind of agree. Because I don't think there's anything, like, super, super deep about its writing, but it's very engaging and good writing. And sometimes that's literally all you need. It takes a superhero genre, it's like people are like, oh, it's a realistic Superman. No, it just takes the genre seriously and creatively. Even if the animation has had some downgrades, which is like, that is an oh man. As an animation industry kind of thing. I was like, God, man, and again, that animation industry stuff is because they don't pay it well. I still think the writing is solid enough to carry the entire show, because it is such a solid show. Always keeps you interested. It always keeps you hyped. It always keeps you interested. Nothing is like too confusing. It is a very good, well-written show. And, like, if it weren't for that really solid writing, I would have dropped it because the animation quality can get kind of, like, iffy a lot of the time. We're getting the poop horn song because we didn't get enough treasure today. Well, let's see if we can kill this frog. Which is funny, because Invincible has the multiverse involved, but uses it in a creative way. But it uses it in a creative and interesting way, which is what's fun about it. Oh yeah, I thought I went to Happy Octane Savings Loan, but it seems my loan came from the shop next door. All devouring black hole loan sharks. I never got this as a kid. Because I remember it's like he starts, like, he goes homeless and starts, like, sending you mail from under a bridge the longer it takes for you to pay off your debt. I don't see much wrong with crossovers, not gonna lie. I think crossovers are pretty hype. It just, you gotta make it make sense. All that I know about Spider-Man stories is that Spider-Man fans will never be happy. Because they've got just, like, the worst writers. This is where I tend to be like, oh, this is where I think manga's superior. It's because one of the bigger issues is not the structure, but how the vision will consistently shift between authors for these superheroes. If it comes from, like, a single unified vision, I think a comic will remain consistently good or consistently bad. And not, like, a whirlwind of, like, what's going on here. Best version of Spider-Man is the one you most grew up with. Like, the accessibility of manga is not because you start at issue 1. The accessibility is because it is, like, it is one person's vision. It's not 20 different writers in the kitchen. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Okay, so I know we need to get our yellows. Yeah, we're just here for the blues. Actually, I think some of these monsters have respawned, so we gotta make sure to wipe them out. It's because, for some reason, Marvel has these insane guidelines that all writers for Spider-Man must follow. Like, Spider-Man's not allowed to be happy. I mean, frick off. Come down here, please. Thank you. My favorite saga with the Spider-Man comics was the Paul saga, where they gave Mary J. Watson a wife just so Spider-Man couldn't get with her. And apparently he committed genocide or something. So it's like, they gave Mary Jane Watson the worst possible everybody, literally just to cut Peter Parker out of having a happy life. Oh, yeah, that's right, Venom being MJ as well. That has been, like, a point among fans, because people just want Spider-Man to, like, be happy, and the writers are like, no, he's not allowed to ever be happy. He can't get together with anybody. There's literally guidelines in their writer's room where it's, like, where Spider-Man is not allowed to have a happy life. He's not allowed to, like, he's not allowed to, yeah, he's just not allowed to be happy. I think that's just the best way to word it. The writers do not, like, it is written in stone. He cannot be happy. And, like, granted, now what makes it kind of worse is that it is, like, from a board that's dictating this, combined with a bunch of writers who just seem to absolutely hate Spider-Man being happy. Oh my god, that's so... I actually kind of pity them a bit for that. MJ Venom, oh, that sounds awful. Okay, we're gonna have Louis over here. I'm gonna have Olmar manage these berries. The only thing I think about that's just to Marvel's detriment is that it is so old that it's kind of like solidified itself into this walled garden where it's like it's really hard to introduce new characters. You have to keep like recognizable people in it with it. If they want to introduce somebody new, they just have to make sure it's not like it's just not Paul. I think that might be Paul. You could just make Superman 5 times, and each Superman could be interesting. It's not a love triangle, Spamson. It's cuckoldry. There's no way, there's no beating around the bush. It is literally just cuckoldry. Paul is married to MJ, and Paul exists only to make sure that Peter cannot have MJ. It is straight up like it is straight up comic mandated cuckoldry. Like there's no beating around the bush about that fact. We gotta put some people away. And to be honest, if it wasn't for like all the board meddling that's causing this, I think I would respect that more if that was a single author's decision. Yes, yes. Yeah, so if I remember this correctly, I'm a bit of an outsider, I'd like to talk with a friend about it. So what happened is that Paul basically got stuck in there's something about Paul and MJ getting trapped in a parallel universe together, and because they were stuck there, they got married, and apparently Paul committed genocide to create that universe or something like that, including those kids. So when the universe got erased, Paul's kids were killed, and everybody cheered at that because they knew Paul only existed to make sure that Spider-Man could not be happy. It is astounding. If the writers were smart, they'd be like, you know what, let's embrace this and make Paul like a secret villain. But Paul is the agenda. They gotta uphold it. They gotta uphold evil. They gotta just uphold Paul being a monster. I think if we're fast enough, we can actually hit the Bulldogs Kingdom. Gotta remember my way back. Oh wait, it's not that way. But yeah, like, I could respect that decision more if it was a single person decision and not just him following a board of committee saying like, yeah, make sure Spider-Man can't be happy and can't get married. You dig? We can definitely hit the Bullbox Kingdom after this. We just need a few more blues and we'll get all set to go. You kind of get it with editors, but, you know, at least it's plot points and there's still, like, the author trying to work with what he's got. Sweet. I'd still take that any day, even with, like, minor editor meddling. Get Almer to tear this down. Put some of our... yeah, we might need to get some... well, we'll have to put away some of our reds. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. That's always, like, the biggest thing, because, like, sometimes your editor is right, but it's impossible to tell, like, who's right or wrong when it comes to, like, creative endeavors. It's always why I'm, like, pretty big on just getting some varied feedback, because it's, like, I need a wide swath to determine, because, like, it's very, very hard for anyone to tell whether, like, what they're doing is right or wrong or whatever. Well, it makes the creative process is interesting and fun, just, like, trying to refine a story until it's, like, the best possible outcome. I think that's 36. 64. We only have 10 reds. Huh. How many yellows? Too many. How many yellows do we have here? 18 yellows, 18 blues. Hold on, let me just get 25 blues. I mean, Spam, I know you know me very strong about, like, just feedback and just shooting ideas. There's so much stuff I had to scrap because, like, when I put into execution, it doesn't feel right. Let's get 15 whites. We can pull out some more reds. Alright, we're gonna... I still think there's a yellow electric fence, actually. Hold on. Okay, so we gotta slap down the electric fence ASAP. Hurry in, we're gonna clutch this. I really want to make this whole. We've got too many blues out, actually. Can we make that run? Come on! Dude, I really want to make this. I was gonna bring out yells and like hot swap them. Slept down that fence faster! We're going in! We're doing it! Who needs reds? See? We don't need to worry about the fire warnings. But yeah, writing is really weird, because you can never really know whether it's good or bad until you like, expose a wide swath of people to it. Okay, we just lost 5 blues. No worries. We only lost blues. Nobody valuable. Oh, I am so goated. How many blues do I have? 27. I think I need 20. Well, that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm, like, insistent on trying to get big as writing, because, like, I don't want to be a fucking fraud with my writing. And I'll never know until I can get, like, an average idea of, like, what people are picking up on. I know typically, I think an editor will have a... How many L's we got? 38. We got too many L's, so we can... Throw those guys in here. Get some extra whites while we're here. I know an editor will probably have, like, a better sense of, like, what to put in if you want to get eyes on your novel or creation. Because it's very obvious that if you, like, put certain trends in your book or story, people are going to get hooked onto it faster. And an editor is absolutely going to have a keen sense on that. While a writer or, like, a creator themselves might have, like, the raw instinct thing, like, you know what? I'll go with my gut here, because I'm sure this is, like, better for the story overall. And sometimes that sense will allow, like... I think people unconsciously pick up on whether writing is good or not, but they can't put to words why it works so well. So a lot of people will, like, enjoy something with good writing much better than something that's, like, just slop. But they can't exactly explain thoroughly why they enjoy something good over something that's sloppish but entertaining. This ain't calling people stupid, by the way. This is more saying it's like... It's more just like they don't have the words or fully understand, like, the work that's kind of, like, gone into, making works work, you know? Yeah, purples make those guys, like, a negative threat. It's kind of funny. Be gone, foul creature. There we go. Like, one of the base things I can say that I know the average audience member can kind of pick up on is illogical flow. Like, when there's no logical sense to how a story is flowing, I think an audience member is going to pick up on it, like, will go like, hey, you know, why are we here? How did we get here? Like, that one's the easiest. Same thing for, like, engaging characters as well, but there are ways you can kind of cheat with that by, like, using character templates. Like, one of the most famous ones, like, you know, it's like, oh, dude, my motivation is I have a family, and I'd do anything for my family. And then the audience is like, oh, I relate to that. I would do anything for my family, too. But that's kind of cheating. You're not really writing a character, you're just using a template. You. I would love to do, like, dedicate more of these streams to, like, writing. Oh! So, writing talk? Because, man, it is very interesting to talk about writing. You can use archetypes still and make them interesting, but it's like, you gotta just make them interesting. Give them some flair, and not just make their art and make that archetype be the character. I guess that's the difference between, like, an archetype and a template. Okay, let's get your flowers back. So it's much easier to get all your Pikmin flowered in this game, too. Ooh. Like me, my favorite archetype is the long-haired sword person. I can't help it like that. Or just the tomboy. It's really hard to go wrong with either of those. But it just depends what you do with that archetype. I do feel like people in real life, you can like categorize the archetypes too. But like I said, like you don't call like the nerdy person at school like, oh, his character is he's nerdy and he likes schools and books. And nerdy guy probably has a little bit more depth to him. What's that treasure? Oh, it's buried. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. There's one isekai that I've seen. I think it's called, like, Ari Furia. It's like Commonplace to World's Strongest. Awful fucking show. But I love it just because the MC, every time he talks with another human beings, he has shower arguments. Like, he's like, oh, I know exactly how you think, and you don't know my suffering. My suffering's much better than you, and you're just being a goody two-shoes big boy. You don't know reality. You're just a baby. And it sounds like shower arguments. Like a guy who got owned really hard at school, and he's saying like, no, I know more than that guy at school. He doesn't know reality. How many yells do I have down here? 23. So, like, every time he talks like that, it's so obvious that, like, he's got, granted, I can pick up on it because I kind of, like, acted like that myself in high school, where I felt like he's like, oh no, I secretly understand what everybody's like. It's like, I know everybody better than they know themselves, because I'm just that cool and that smart. But, you know what happens if you give people that talk in real life, where you try to pretend you know them better than they know themselves? They punch you in the mouth. And they kind of have a right to, because you're being a dick. Okay, let's grab our yellows. Our yellow fellas. Yellow fellas. I do not fuck around with these bugs, because they are... Oh god. I do not wally with this wog. No! Oh, okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, I thought I just lost all my Pikmin to that, bro. Oh. Yeah, it's because, like, cause, like, the C-stick is based on behind you, but I thought, like, you know, this is behind me, so when I swapped the... Oh, God. I tried to, like, rotate my C-stick to my character and nearly got them all killed. Oh, good lord. We're not messing with you guys. They can sometimes shoot lightning into the wall. And we're an Ironman. We ain't hit that restart button. We're gonna do this like surgery. Nice and easy. That's right, I can beat this. Okay. So yeah, electricity, you can't whistle. You can't save anybody from it. Okay. Gemstone. Diamond! Yeah, how much you want to bet Jack Black's gonna say that in the new Minecraft movie? Dripstone. Lava buck. Oh, God. How many people are actually going to see the Minecraft movie here? I just want to get a head count. Because I'm not going to watch it. I don't intend to see it in theaters. Confirm app post-credit scene. Because it's, of course, post-credit scenes, you know? Can't let things be their own thing, you know? Gotta do the Marvel. Gotta show like, you know, what is this? Prismarine. Gotta get it from the underwater temple. It would absolutely. But a lot of methods for that involve paying money, and I'm not paying money for that, man. It's coming right off the right off of the heels of right off the heels of Sonic. I don't think the Sonic movies are like... People overrate them. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're fine for video game movies, but they're not like peak fiction or anything like that. But the bar is pretty low for video game movies. But they're still watchable, fun movies. I can't at least say when I walked out of the Sonic movie showing, I was like, hey, I enjoyed my time! I enjoyed my time! Oh, the game ain't pulling its punches no more. Oh, dude. Okay. Okay, we're still in it. I think this is the only treasure here. Only treasure. We'll keep these guys here and just escort. I know the Wistful Wilds is when the K's really start going kill yourself. Ooh, okay. Something we're going through pretty smooth though. I gotta check something. I gotta say, okay. This game, absolutely, it is holding up so well, man. I'm having so much genuine fun playing this crud. It doesn't feel like a few hours have passed, and so I just gotta check something on my phone real quick. Because I ordered something, and the order tried to be like, hey, we attempted delivery at 3 a.m., but nobody was home. And it's like, yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I don't think I can afford to convert more, because I'm not sure if there's any high-reaching puzzles. I would love to get more purples whenever the opportunity arises, but like I said, I don't want to lock myself out of treasures. We are waging just fine. Gemstone. If the Minecraft movie, I'm expecting him to like every time Minecraft item pops, like, it's my gemstone. It's my diamond ore. This is where Herobrine's gonna get me. And just like stuff like that. Now, if rumors are true, like according to like behind the scenes, I'm not sure if they're doing this for PR or not. It says Jack Black apparently got addicted, never played Minecraft until he got casted, and then they got the game on Xbox. And oh my god, fucking SMT movie, Jack Black as Jack Frost. Oh, he's so fucking funny. Oh, frickin' funny. Oh my god. And apparently Jack Black got addicted. Jack Black got addicted to Minecraft. So he was like playing it nonstop on the trail, and he just like got lost in the mines. And he said lapis lazuli ended up becoming his favorite thing to collect because he really liked saying the word. Is why I kind of believe that story might be true, because putting that into context, it makes sense why he's saying like flint and steel, ender pearl, and shit like that. Because he really likes saying those words, because he thinks they're funny words to say. And I half agree with him. At the same time, every time you encounter, like, it's like a chicken jockey, or, oh, spider, skeleton, creeper. It's like, oh, Jack Black, what's that? It's a creeper. It's gonna get obnoxious very fast. This way. Oh, hey! You bastard! You bastard! The fuck? There's no escape! Admittedly, if Jack Black did get cast as Jack Frost, he wouldn't be saying that, because, I'm starting to say spell, but my brain just got invaded by Zon or Zan. They aren't as fun to say. Now, Faraga, or Fariga, or Firaga, those are fun spell names to say. But, you know, SMT had to be different, had to be Hebrew, you know? Alright. How deep is this cave? 7 seems like a very nice number to end it on. Yep. It's a very interesting spell system, I will give it that. But, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting one, and like I said, it's all based on, it's Hebrew, I think. Or something related to that. That's because it literally is a new language. No, we don't need it. Oh, dude, this first cutscene, I forgot. It actually wastes the time. Oh, we wasted our... Oh, God. Oh, my God. We're gonna save them? Nah, we lost some. Because I remember that distinctly because I replayed this a lot as a kid. And I remember the first cutscene waste some of that stasis time. Yeah, that was a really lucky stun. Dude, they just obliterated that! And I will never forget this puzzle. Because it says, oh, it's only fire and electricity as the only threats here. And then it's like, lol, nah. Well, you're stupid if you think that. Now, there's also this one pit of water for this last treasure on the very last floor. Because, you need to die. There we go, fire immunity. It's been like... I think the other thing that a good way to like, like, assist with, like, how memorable shows or TV, like, shows or games are. You get over here. I'm trying to save you. Oh, God, that was close. It's like how well these games stick in your memory, like, how distinct, like... This part at the end of the Hole of Beast sticks with me very distinctly. I will never forget to bring blues to this dungeon ever again. Because their flowers are above the water. They don't want to dunk it. Guys are getting burned by those fire spouts. Look at that movement. But yeah, I couldn't remember whether it was like 10 or 12, but all I know is that I just needed blue Pikmin for the very end of this dungeon. Imagine it's like, because like these dungeons are really long for kids. When you're like, it's like you're not a fully grown adult. You're gonna take this game a little bit slower. You're not as smart when playing these games. 7 floors is a lot. You get to the last floor, like you know, I was smart. I only brought yellow and reds because the only threats here were the only threat it said was fire and electricity. And you reach the end. See that stupid water pit. Got no blues under your belt. And you're like, why? Why did you do this to me? I think that the reason why they put in stuff like that is to incentivize you to bring, like, a balanced party no matter what. Especially for, like, buried treasure with your white Pikmin, or water, or just, like, bring blue Pikmin for, any possible water traps. And that is another complete cave. There's only one cave I know that you can just explicitly bring only yellows and purples for, and that is Glutton's Kitchen. Glutton's Kitchen is my favorite cave in, like, the entire game. I love it so much. I still love it to this day, and as a kid, I would just, like, explore that cave just because it was so fun. There's this one thing that just seems so appealing as a kid, where you just go to a place, and it's just a giant, oversized house or playroom. There's something so appealing about aesthetic, especially to kids. That's why, like, games like Chibi Robo really stuck to me, because it's like, the level is just a house, and you get to explore around a big house. And since, like, everything's all super big, gives you a really funky perspective on everything. What are our global numbers? We need more... Oh, hey, the blue onion repositioned itself? Sweet, okay. Yeah, so we got the perplexing pool next. We could actually, like, completely clear out the awakening wood. I guess we'll worry about that Wednesday, because we're just gonna bring the stream to a close. I'd say that was a pretty good, successful 2.5 hours of Pikmin 2. I'm glad. Replaying this, it's like, nothing about this game feels off. I'm feeling pretty content with this game. This game rocks. Get to work, slackers! Oh, man. And then it's like... It's just great when you get that mesh of, like, the surface level gameplay being really fun and engaging. And then you got the, then you just got all these tiny little details that are just so fun and fleshed out. A fun fact about this is the last bit of Pikmin trivia before we go. The Fury Bullblacks, for some reason, has a health value of 10,000. So, some people assume that maybe the Fury Bullblacks was intended to be, like, some sort of mini-boss until, like, he was, a bit retconned. Especially with the fact that he has the Bullblack's name, which is only shared between the Emperor Bullblacks and the Empress Bullblacks. I think the hate of this game came just from PTSD of, like, exploring a cave, and then it throws 20 bomb rocks at you that you can't dodge, and then you just have to be like, well, my life's over now. I never really heard about... I think the only person I know who saw that, who disliked this game was Shafferlass, and his video was actually just bad. Other than that, this game has just got something for everyone. Especially the Picklepedia, where it's like... Oh, that bloom. Scatter. And once again, for asset recycling. These Picklepedia things, these are all just, like, small locations around the, around where you're last left over. It's like, this is the woods, so for example... You can bitter spray the bombs? Oh, it's huge. But yeah, this is a nice thing of Picklepedia. Yeah, so it's like, once again, they're just reusing the background. So let's say I'm hovering over the Valley of Repose. Picklepedia is just recycling areas in the Valley of Repose. Like, that's a landing area. Yeah, this is just best as a kid, because you can get so much entertainment just from watching and feeding these funny guys. Like, I could fucking feed these guys for hours and be pretty entertained. Just look at them. Wake up. The beta version of the map? Hey! And it, like, blurs out when you're moving around like it's a trail cam. I gotta say, like, how the heck did they come up with this Bulborb as a design? So goofy. I love it. I really hope Nintendo gets, like, a killer new IP out. The last one, I think, was ARMS, and ARMS was, like, alright. Granted, I have some huge biases towards Pikmin because I grew up with it, but ooh. It is... Low-key, you know, this is my last fun fact. Pikmin is actually low-key what got me kind of into, like, world building and lore writing and all that stuff with writing. Because of Olimar's notes. Like, when I was a kid, I'd tell, like, hey, did you know these baby bulborbs are actually like, bread bugs in disguise? It made me think a little bit more about ecology in biology class. It's like, oh, that's right, because it's a genetic advantage to pretend to be the apex predator. Because, like, then you look like then you just look like that. Then you get to, like, hang around the big boys. Yeah. Oh, hey, we got some survival series, yeah. Maybe the sales pitch, Olimar journals. I don't think there's much of a focus on the micro and tiny details for games nowadays, but that's... Ooh, talking about game dev nowadays, and the game dev pipeline, and all that stuff is a whole entire different conversation. But, like I said, I think, for a lot of it, nothing has, like... The only thing that has changed between game dev in the past and game dev today is having access to much more powerful hardware and the ease of introducing microtransactions or a way to, like, fleece the consumer more. Obviously, on the hardware end, if you expect everybody to have, like, a GTX 3060, you can just, like, not worry about optimization or compression because that stuff is so widely accessible, which is an unfortunate loss. And microtransactions, it's self-explanatory. That's why it's always fun to go back to these GameCube games, because it's like, there is still this effort to create a good game, because, like, it's, like, you want people to talk about your game, and if people talk about your game, you can make income. And now, you don't exactly need that. I would still say making a good game is good for your business, but there's still so much more in tandem with just having a good game. I mean, think about cult hits. Titanfall 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. And it got snuffed on release, despite being one of the greatest shooters of all time, unironically. It just did not have the marketing power, and it was a newcomer against COD and Battlefield. That's like dead on arrival, despite how amazing the game was. So, like, you gotta make a good game, and you have to have, like, a publisher who cares and knows how to advertise it. But yeah, that's enough about game dev talk. We are going to call stream here. Anyways, I will try to be back Wednesday. Hopefully then I will not be sick. Last Wednesday I intended to stream, but I caught some nasty cold bugs, so I was, like, in bed all day. So, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're gonna get back to the good graces of the algorithm. We're gonna get back on top and stream regularly. Probably just some old GameCube games, or maybe some Guilty Gear if I'm feeling it. Anyways, y'all have a good evening. Thanks for chatting, sticking around, all that jazz, and I will see y'all later.